Hi guys, so I'm gonna be talking about all the books that I read in 2025. It was definitely not the best reading year for me, but that's okay. I'm feeling inspired for next year and I'm just gonna look forward. I read 11 books in 2025 and I think my goal was 50, which is crazy. I thought 50 because the year before I read 45, so I was like 5 more, that's easy. Meanwhile, no. It was just not a good year for reading for me. Yeah, that's okay though. I'm honestly surprised I got to 11, to be honest with you. I don't know, I feel like maybe I was kind of ambitious with the books that I was reading. They were definitely like chunkier books. But yeah, I'm just excited to read a lot more this coming year. So let me talk about my stats really quick from Goodreads. So I read 11 books. I read 5,034 pages. My shortest read was 260 pages and my longest read was 719, which I guess I'll talk about when I get to it. Average book length was 457, which I feel like is kind of high, so I'm giving myself credit there. My average rating was 4.1. Well, I guess we'll talk about the other ones when we get to them. The first book that I read in 2025 was Beartown by Frederick Bachman. This was a 5-star read for me for sure. I loved this book so much. I have yet to read the second one and I read this a year ago, which is crazy. It feels like yesterday, but yeah, it was a year ago and I'm honestly scared to pick it back up because I'm scared I'm not gonna remember anything. And also this book did kind of start my slump. It really did. I read this and it was like nothing else compared to this book, and nothing else probably ever will, but you gotta move on at some point. This book follows basically a whole community called Beartown. The main like thing going on in this town is this big ice hockey tournament. The junior ice hockey team is about to compete for nationals, and basically the whole town is just consumed with this ice hockey team. And it kind of reminds me of like those movies, I think it's What to Expect When You're Expecting and like Valentine's Day, where it's like a bunch of individual stories but they all connect together and are like all in the same town and they all kind of like know each other from different things. It's like that, but it has such a deep undertone to it, and I really enjoyed how Frederick Bachman could put me in the mindset of so many different characters, and I felt like I could relate to them even if it was like a mother or like an old man. Basically every character he wrote about, he did it in such a way that it seemed so realistic that I felt like I was that character when I was reading about their point of view. I don't know, but it was so good. So 5 stars. It's definitely a sad one and a heavy one, but it is really, really good. And I definitely do want to continue this series soon. Okay, the next book that I picked up was, I was very ambitious this year, I'm realizing, ACOTAR. I've been putting this series off for years because it's been a popular series for a long time, and I finally was like, okay, let me see what the hype is about. And of course it let me down because it was so overhyped. Well, not overhyped, it was just so hyped that my standards were just too high, and I think I would have enjoyed this a lot more if it was just a book I had gone into like not knowing how popular it was, but having that connotation around it already, it's hard for it to live up to the hype. Not to say it wasn't good. I did enjoy this book. It really could not have been as good as the hype made it seem like it was. I rated it a 3 stars because it definitely was just like world building and stuff, but I was excited to continue, and that's what I did. The next book I picked up was this book. This is a chunky book, Court of Mist and Fury. To be honest with you, I don't remember these books at all. I don't know if I don't like fantasy or what it is exactly, but these books really did not hit the way I was hoping they would. So I rated this one a 3 stars as well. I did enjoy my time. I just wasn't like super obsessed with the world like I know so many other people are, but I wish I had been because I know, you know, I would have loved to be completely like obsessed and engulfed in this world, but it was more of me just trying to get through the books. you know? I think too, reading bigger books for me, I'm just trying to get through them. I'd rather this book, this individual book, be split up into like 4 books or like 3 books, and I feel like I'd have such a better reading experience because it's like I don't feel rushed to get through it. Like, okay, I gotta hurry up because there's a lot of more pages to read. But nonetheless, it was good. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't anything like special or crazy to me. So then I wanted to take a little bit of a break from ACOTAR ACOTAR, and I picked up The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings. I definitely didn't say what ACOTAR is about, but it's a fantasy book. This is the third in the Magnolia Parks series, and this is the last one that I've read. I haven't read the last one that's out yet, and I rated it 5 stars. I love this book. It's basically, if you don't know where the Magnolia Parks universe is, it's rich socialites in London, and 2 of them have a very toxic, very on and off relationship where they just can't seem to make it work, and it's just drama. It's just drama, and I love it. I eat it up. But this book gets so crazy, and I was bawling. I was bawling my eyes out. I loved it. It was great. Since this book had such a terrible, tragic ending, which I felt like I knew it was coming, like I could sense it in the air, and as soon as it happened, I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to continue this series, and I haven't yet, but I definitely, I do want to. I have the other book on my shelf. I haven't been able to yet. So yeah, hopefully soon I'll get to it, but 5 stars. I love the series so much. Okay, then I picked up A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series, and I rated this one a 4 stars apparently. Can't really remember what scenes happened in what books, but I like this one the best. I think this one, like ACO War, I think this one is like more about like fighting and stuff like that, but I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, but I rated it 4 stars. So it's out. So that's my rating. Next, I picked up Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I love Abby Jimenez, and I loved this book so much. I just think her books are great. Like, I love a good summer romance that has deeper meanings to it, like a deeper plot going on. Just something more than just the fluffy romance. Something that has a little bit more emotion to it. I eat it up. I loved this book so much. And basically this is about, apparently her name's Emma, I don't know. So basically Emma finds this guy online, and he's like posting about how every girl that he's with ends up finding their soulmate right after they break up. And then Emma was like, wait, literally me too. So they end up kind of texting or whatever, and then end up deciding to kind of make this pact that they're going to like fake date, I guess, and then hopefully after they break up, then they'll each find their right person. Spoiler alert, but that doesn't end up happening. Definitely enjoyed this one. I think, oh, I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. Maybe it's a 5. I love Abby Jimenez's writing, and all of her books that I've read so far have been great, have been 4 or 5 stars. Next, I read The Storied Life of AJ Thickery by Gabrielle Zevin. This book was definitely not what I expected it to be, and it was very sad. It was very sad, but it was good. I rated it a 4 stars, and this was the shortest book on my shelved list. A Court of Mist and Fury was the longest, I'm pretty sure, or A Court of Wings and Ruin, I can't remember. But The Storied Life of AJ Thickery basically follows this man, AJ Thickery, and he is a bookshop owner in like this little small quaint island beach town, and his wife died, so he's kind of just like a grumpy man, doesn't really want to like be social or really like do anything but run his bookshop and be left alone. And then all of a sudden he ends up taking care of this 2-year-old that is found in his bookshop, and this little girl basically changes his life for the better. It was cute. I liked it. It definitely, I liked the whole, you know, like life, meaning of life type of aspect of it, but I think what I didn't like about it, there was no real plot happening. Like, I kind of thought that there was like a stolen prized book that I thought was going to be like a main storyline, but it just wasn't. It was basically nothing. It was very minuscule to the plot. Like, there just wasn't a plot, and I just prefer when books have some type of plot and not just kind of like, I guess it's like slice of life. I don't even know. I still did enjoy it. I rated it a 4 stars. It's the best being able to read books when you go on vacation, because it's the same as like songs and stuff. Like, it puts you back into that time, and that's how I feel about The Storied Life of AJ Thickery and this next one, Archer's Voice. I read this like on a beach vacation that I took a few months ago, and I'm remembering where I was when I read this, and it's just bringing me back to beach vibes. But this is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This was long overdue for me to read, like most of my books are, because I like buy so many books and then I'm so slow to read them that by the time I have read them, it's like the hype is long past. But yeah, this is Archer's Voice, I really enjoyed this book. I rated it a 4 stars, which I think it was leaning on a 3, honestly, because I was kind of just sick of it at the end. The beginning was cute, like I liked their whole meeting. This is a romance, and basically the girl, she ends up moving to this small town because she has like a bad past, and so she moves to this small town and she meets Archer, and he doesn't speak, but she knows sign language, so it's like perfect. And he's very standoffish, does not talk to anybody in the town, like nobody talks to him, and so she makes a friendship with him. But it does have a little bit of a mystery aspect to it. If it had more of a mystery aspect, I think I would have liked it more than it just getting a little bit too in the romance part of it. But hey, it is a romance novel, so what do you do? Yeah, I think either 3 or 4 stars. There were some really good aspects of this, and I did enjoy it. Then I read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and I rated this a 5 stars. I loved this book so much. I just love Emily Henry. She just does such a good job at really putting you into the world, and also just like such cute and like witty banter, such like creative like scenes. I don't know. Basically, these two, each of their partners ended up breaking up with them and getting with each other. And so then they are both out of a place to live. So they move in with each other. And I love them together. They're so cute. Oh, and they kind of end up fake dating a little because their ex-partners, they're invited to their wedding. So they're kind of like fake dating to act like they're together and act like the whole breakup didn't upset both of them. And it is really good. I really liked this one. Then for some odd reason, I took it upon myself to read Twilight and New Moon. I read these 2, and then I was a little bit just kind of wanting to read something else, so these are the only 2 that I read this year. I think there's 2 more. I hope to get to those next year. Fingers crossed. I'm very ambitious and I have a lot of books I want to read, but we will see. So yeah, we have Twilight and New Moon. Twilight I rated a 4 stars, and then New Moon I rated a 3 stars. Twilight was great. I loved, especially the first one, I loved that I could literally picture each scene of the movie in this book. I feel like it was pretty accurate to the movie. Obviously, I'm not somebody that's super worried about that kind of thing, but I thought it was pretty accurate. And then New Moon, I kind of liked it a little less, just because it felt a little drawn out. But Twilight, I really ate this up. And then one of my favorite things is reading a book and then being able to directly then go and watch the movie. So I did that with both of these, and I hope to do that with the others as well. So then I ended up picking up, this is my last book of the year, which was Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Miscalco. I recently finished this book. I really enjoyed this book. Follows this girl who wants to be a mortician. She ends up studying to be a mortician with her uncle. Along the way finds out that there's like a string of killings happening that seems like all related, and so she takes it upon herself with her partner in crime, Thomas Cresswell, and they go out and try to figure out who it is. And then along the way they start learning some things, and I guess I won't say anymore. But I love this book. I love a good YA mystery that has a little bit of romance in it. So good, so good. And I just finished the second one, and I'm reading a different book right now, but why am I like still thinking about these characters? Like, it's just, I don't know, it's so fun. I just think it's fun. And those are all the books that I read for 2026. I guess I'll talk about the stats that I didn't share. So the shortest book was The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery, and then the longest was A Court of Wings and Ruin. Yeah, my most shelved was Twilight, and then my least shelved was actually the Magnolia Parks book, The Great Undoing, which is kind of surprising. But then my highest rated was A Court of Mist and Fury, which is not surprising because it's such a well-loved series, but I never finished that series. There's one last book left, and I don't think I will, unless I like end up hearing something about it at some point that kind of, you know, inspires me to read it again. I just don't really see myself reading it. I like that I have the series completed on my shelf for the most part. I don't have the little one, the Frost and Starlight one. I don't have that one, but I like having it completed on my shelf. But I think I might be okay with not reading that last book. But I'm very excited for 2026 and all the books that I'm going to read this year, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be posting a lot more often, fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!